Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to my channel. My name is David Ochola. This is Wardrobe Chronicles, and on this channel, we talk about many things, but the key thing that I try to do with every video that I post is give value to you. So if that's something you're interested in, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel because there's more content coming your way this year. Speaking about this year, we are about that time of the year when many people usually either let go their goals or actually stick to them. So there's this group of people who, by the time it's getting to February, March, they usually feel like they've skipped enough days, say for example in their fitness regimen, that they can actually let it go, or maybe they have not been disciplined with their diet, so they feel like it's about that time. Or maybe if it's finances, for example, you're probably feeling like, maybe if I've not achieved my financial goals in January and February, it's probably not gonna happen. And then there's quite the opposite group, and this is a group of people who are usually now dialing down and dialing in on whatever goals they have and making sure that they're chasing them even beyond the first quarter of the year. So you want to be in the second group of people. So in today's video, I am going to share with you some of the strategies that I am currently implementing in my own life so that I can make sure that I'm keeping up with my goals for the year. One thing that I have been very deliberate about this year is to actually write down my goals. For you, it may maybe be making, what do you call them, a vision board. I have tried a vision board before and put it as my screensaver, but it didn't really work. I find that for me, writing them down makes me own those dreams and goals. So for you, it could be a vision board, it could be pictures hanged somewhere in your bedroom or something like that, but make sure that you can see the dreams that you actually have for the year. And this is why that is important. I have come to learn that the saying in English that says out of sight, out of mind is just not a saying, it becomes a reality. So it's important to have your goals right where you can see them. Before I even give you the next thing that I am doing to keep up with my goals, what are you doing to keep up with your goals this year? Let me know in the comment section below, and I'm sure other people would love to learn from you as I would. Another thing that I have been deliberate about this year, so that I can achieve my goals, especially financial goals, is to break them down into bits, and achievable bits for that matter. So say for example, if you have a certain amount of money that you'd like to make in the first quarter, I realize when you look at it as a quarter, it doesn't really make sense because you are not consistently tracking the progress that you're making. If at all you're disciplined, well and good for you, but I realize for me that's very difficult. So what I usually do is I set monthly financial goals that I would like to achieve, so that way I am able to cumulatively keep track of my quarterly financial goals, or halfway through the year, and so forth and so on. I've also realized having my goals in bulk also tends to demotivate me. I don't know about you, but I feel like I'm more motivated to work to a shorter term goal than a longer term goal. But in the case that a shorter term goal is actually helping me get towards a long term goal, that makes more sense to me, hence why I break them down to bits. Another thing that I've been very deliberate about that is helping me keep track and keep up with my goals this year is to talk to my friends and people close to me about my goals. And here's why. I really don't like embarrassment, and if you don't like embarrassment like me, then you'll find it very helpful to talk to people about your goals, especially people who are close to you, because number one, they will help you keep accountable to them, and then number two, to yourself. And that's going to be important because if you lack like total self-discipline, then this will keep you definitely more deliberate about your goals. Speaking of sharing your goals with your friends and your confidants, you want to hang around people with the same mindset as you do. And that's going to be important because, first of all, there's an English saying that usually says, show me 5 of your friends and I'll tell you who you are. You tend to become like the people you hang out with. So if at all you're hanging out with people who are letting go their goals earlier in the year, that is definitely going to happen to you because you have no motivation whatsoever, and you also don't have positive influence around you. That's going to be important to take note of because influence happens when you're not watching. One other thing that I am doing is actually keeping track of my achievements, and here's why. very few of us usually clap for ourselves when we are achieving what we set out to achieve. And you realize that usually tends to be a demotivating factor, especially if you're not someone who really celebrates your wins. And this, I realized, is something that I have carried through and through in my life, but you don't want to do that. One of the things that will help you motivate yourself, even past places where you feel stuck, is to celebrate your wins. Constantly celebrate your wins and keep track of those wins, so that when you have a difficult season in your life, you look back and be grateful, and you'll have a reason to push beyond. But at the end of the day, I've come to learn something very interesting, and I'm going to share it with you. So this comes from the book of Psalm number 20, Psalm chapter 20, verse 4, and it says, "May He, God, grant you your heart's desires and make all your plans succeed." How I think about God granting me my heart's desires is not necessarily me having desires and then God fulfilling them. It's more like God putting those desires in my heart and then helping me fulfill them. I hope that makes sense. And once your will and God's will are aligned, it makes it easier for you to actually achieve the goals that you have set out to achieve in the year, because God is on your side and you're on God's side. And what makes it easier than that? Nothing. I hope you found this video helpful. If you did, be sure to drop a like down below. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for always tuning in. I'll be sure to see you again when you see me.